Hey everyone, welcome to my channel.
Can you focus on me? Baby, can you focus on me? Hands in the stove, how the faucet's running and I keep looking at you.
Let's wanna know what you got in mind tonight.
What do you say?
Got me feeling like you're the secret, I can't leave you alone.
Welcome back, boys and girls, ladies and gents. Welcome back to the Pretty Candid Podcast. I am your host here, Marissa H. And as you can see by the attire, you feel me? We is in a very festive mood. Valentine's Day is right around the corner, so I thought, why would I not drop y'all a holiday episode, right? If you are new here, go ahead and hit that bell. Hit the subscribe button, hit a like, go ahead, you're gonna love it here. And if you are a returning member, you should already not even have to hit the bell, but make sure that you do drop a like. It really helps me push my videos out into the algorithm, and I thank y'all so much, right? And jump into the candid cocktail of the week, you guys. So this right here is what I call the lover's tip. And I know you like, what? So the lover's tip has cherries in it, the freshest cherries, number one. But I also did put tequila silver. I did put a little bit of Grand Marnier in here. And then I also put a little bit of rose quartz edible glitter and a little bit of lemon juice just to kind of even it out. I want to say this is a margarita, but it's really just a cocktail. And honestly, y'all, it's really good. Like, sweet, but to the point. Lover's tip. You might need this. All right, you guys, now that we got the candid cocktail out the way, let's go ahead and let's get into the topics for today's episode. So let me say this. This is a fun episode. This is not to bash nobody. We ain't finna bash Valentine's Day. We're going to have some fun, but we're going to get to some honest truths too, and maybe even something you need to hear, right? Right? So I'm going to list a few scenarios, and we're going to kind of go through them together, right? So really, it's more of like, is it romantic or is it just a bare minimum? Is this considered bare minimum because I've never really had this before, or I like this person, so I don't know? Or is this considered romantic because I'm not kind of used to that? So I'm going to be your guide for that, okay? Y'all ready? We're going to go through them. So the scenario is gas station flowers, right? And this be a real topic because I've seen this all over threads and Twitter. The girlies don't like, they want the flowers wrapped. They want the initial on it. They want I love you. I want to eat your ass in the back. Like they want all of the personalized stuff, right? And that's great, right? But also I do think that there is nothing wrong with gas station flowers for a lot of reasons, right? Because on one hand, you could be like, oh, you didn't put no thought into it, the intention. But also, like, nobody got to buy you flowers, right? So whether they came from 7-Eleven, whether they came from Costco, whether they came from H-E-B, they came from that florist shop downtown. I feel like flowers are flowers, right? So that's not bare minimum. I think that's just romance because it's still the thought that counts, right? That's me personally. That's me personally. And low-key, I'm telling y'all, there's nothing wrong with gas station flowers, child. Unless they dying. Because flowers die. Yeah, okay. So the next one, planning a dinner but then asking you to organize it. So like let's say it's a man, right? So you like, okay, she says she want to do a dinner. She's planning out like, okay, we're going to go at this time, this, that, and the third. But then she's kind of leaving it to you to plan it all out. I'm going to be real. I feel like in this type of instance, it really depends. Me personally, I don't like when somebody bring me an idea and then they expect me to follow through with the rest of it. I think that's tacky as hell and inconsiderate. However, I think it's about your dynamic. So if y'all are like fresh, new, still kind of learning each other, and like he's asking those questions or she's like bringing it up or that she wants to go to dinner and he's bringing it up and it's like, I kind of want you to plan it. It really depends on the dynamic between y'all. Me personally, I'm going to say this. I think there's nothing wrong with a woman planning a dinner, and I think there's nothing wrong with a man planning a dinner. I think it is about like kind of the stage y'all are in. But also, I will say this. If you bring up dinner to me and you make it seem like you know that that's what you want to do, plan it out. You get a little bit more extra points when you start something and finish it versus starting it and then landing it on the other person. So we gonna say it's that could be a little bare minimum. I'm gonna be real. That could be bare minimum. I ain't really, too keen on that. So, the next one is going to be posting you on all socials, but never introducing you to family or friends. If I gotta answer, I really shouldn't even have to go too deep into this. Y'all know that's damn bare minimum. Cause it's almost like breadcrumbing. I'm giving you just enough to make sure you feel secure and safe, but also I'm doing exactly how I want to do it. So is that really romance? Cause what's the point of posting me everywhere and not introducing? Mm-hmm. I'm looking crazy just like y'all. That shit don't make no sense. So we gonna say that's bare minimum at its finest, actually. This is one I think the girlies deal with. So let's talk about this. Saying that I don't believe in Valentine's Day, but expecting birthday treatment. So what by that I mean, like, you'll have somebody be like, "Oh, I don't celebrate Valentine's Day. I don't believe in that." Whatever, right? But like they kind of still they expect you still to follow through with something, right? Even though they said that to you, almost like a gimmick. And then two, people who like, "Oh, you don't have to do nothing for Valentine's Day. I don't want to do nothing for Valentine's Day for you." But then they birthday coming up, and then they want you to treat them like a princess, whatever. It's like that's bare minimum as hell, but also like I want to say this, people are allowed not to fuck with Valentine's Day. People are allowed to feel like, I don't really want to celebrate it. I think it's fake. I hear this all the time. If you can't celebrate me the rest of 364, oh, shut up. Shut up. Okay? Valentine's Day is for the lovers of friends, for the lovers of the kids, for the lovers of the lovers. Okay? It ain't all just about that. So let's be clear. But in this particular situation, I'm going to say that's bare minimum as hell. Because it's like you avoid one day specifically to not have to do nothing, but then on your day or on your day you want treatment, or on the same day that you said you don't care nothing about, you want to be bare minimum, y'all. Do not make me upset. And I feel like, honestly, these type of situations, and even other ones I didn't name, a lot of times I feel like it's more so like, it might not just be the right person, right? I don't never think that you're asking for too much. As a girl who believes in the fairy tale and I can have any and everything I want in this world, and I said so, you're never asking for too much. It really just do be the wrong person. So, for guidance, if you run into these following situations or something that fall in line with this, and you like, is this bare minimum or is this romance, like Marissa said? Go back to this episode and really think about it, and I promise you gonna realize like, there ain't nothing wrong with them necessarily. There ain't nothing wrong with me. It's just they can't do what I want them to do, and that's fine. Like, stop. I really want to. And then another thing is too, I really want people to stop giving like standing ovations for like basic decency. That's weird as hell. Somebody been dating you for weeks on weeks on weeks and months on months, but then when this day come up, now they being kind of weird and distant and cold and selfish. No. But then they turn around, they got me flowers the next day. Bitch, no. If that lady ain't been really having nothing to say to you, but then all of a sudden she know Valentine's Day coming up and now she want a gift and she want to pop out and she telling you about her nail, who give a damn? Celebrate it with the bros. Have y'all a boiling time. A boiling time, a gallon time, a boiling time. What, y'all know what I'm getting at. We gonna go to the next one. So let's talk about how we even kind of start to get to bare minimum in the first place, right? Now that we had a little laughs and jokes off, I want to talk about soft love versus toxic passion versus healthy love versus toxic passion, right? I feel like sometimes when you in love, because I done been in love a few times, and I feel like a lot of different things happen, right? Depending on who you're with. I feel like either you start off real healthy, everything's a green flag, everything feels great, right? But then a lot of times what end up happening, depending on the situation, it has the potential to go into like some toxic passion, right? It's not calm no more. It's not as feeling as safe. You know, it's got its certain nuances, whatever the case is, right? So I really want to tap into that because I feel like love is important, right? But identifying what kind of love you should have and you deserve is even more important. So let's kind of dig into that. So I want to say this toxic passion, because I think a lot of people don't realize what this is. So, toxic passion is like you feel like you have so much chemistry with this person. You feel like y'all are locked in. This your twin flame. This is it. This is all I need, right? Whole time, you really low key confused about it because you also feel like you trauma bonded. Toxic passion, right? Okay, so that's one. That's one, right? The next one. It starts to feel like you have a lot of highs, and when I say highs, the highs are high, and y'all going trips, y'all doing this, you having fun. They meeting the family, y'all are watching each other meet y'all milestones, all of that, right? But then you have them low lows. Oh baby, we drag out fighting. We might not be putting our hands on each other, but like it's not good. It's not conducive. I'm not able to sleep after. I'm not being able to like fully perform at work. We go on days without talking. Whatever the case is, right? The low of the lows, right? And I feel like that's what toxic passion is. You got them real high highs, and then you got them real low lows, right? It's not a happy medium, right? That's another one. So another thing I think, and I've dealt with this before in toxic passion, is you start to feel more chosen than you did before only because you about to walk away. So let's say you in an instance where you realize like, this might not be conducive to what I'm trying to do. I don't think I'm good for them no more. We're not reaching the we're plateauing. We're not. And as soon as you like about to have your foot out the door, that's when they decide to be like, well, no, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that and I could change it. Da, da, da. Toxic passion. That ain't love, right? So, because I feel like a lot of times people are so used to things being chaotic that chaos is their first language and peace is a foreign language. You know what I mean? So it's easy to kind of like, and I know you thinking like, oh, I would be able to know. No, you won't. When you deep in that, sometimes you won't know. So that's the toxic love. Now let's get in. That's the toxic passion. So let's get into soft love. Soft love, you guys, right, is like very much a detox from the chaos. So there might be disagreements, but there's not arguments, right? It might be moments of where you feel a little like insecure, but there's reassurance that follow up after the insecurity. It might be something that they do or you do that they don't like, but then change behavior becomes a thing with y'all to make sure each other is grounded and feeling secure. That's a soft love, right? It's very calm, it's steady, it's flowing, it's a little predictable. And sometimes, honestly, it's a little boring, but it's only boring because it's good for you, right? So look at that as the soft love, okay? Now, a healthy love stemming from the soft love is where I feel like you could be emotionally safe. You don't have to be so on guard. You don't have to have this exterior up that kind of protects you. They are protecting your emotions while they're with you because they honor you. That's a healthy love, right? I think another instance of that is like you're feeling yourself more and pouring into yourself more because you have somebody besides you that believe in you. You could trust in them. You're not scared. You're not worried. You feel fulfilled in yourself, and then like it's showing in your relationship. I think it's something to be said for that, and I really think a lot of people overlook that part. If I'm being honest, like when you in a toxic passion, you don't feel like yourself, and sometimes you don't realize it till after you leave, but you don't realize that that's not you. You know what I mean? So a healthy love stemming from the soft love is a mutual effort as well. It's not going to be a lot of, well, you need to change this, you need to change this. It's a lot of, let's work on this together, let's figure this out so that way we both get what we need and want out of this situation. And even if we can't come to that, we're going to reach some type of consensus that'll work for us, right? That matters. That mutual effort is a motherfucker, because a lot of people think that they do put in mutual effort and they're not. The simple basic stuff, that's effort, yeah. But when it comes to time to really pop that whip and show out, pop out and show niggas, y'all not doing that. You know what I'm saying? So mutual effort is definitely a part of the healthy love. And I think one more thing to add to that is you could have desires with your person without being fearful, right? You can have desires in life that you want to act on and things like that without being fearful about what's going to happen with your partner or how they're going to react to it. Like, those are all things that kind of let you know that's where you're at, right? The main reason why I am bringing this up is like, I really want more of us to kind of identify early hey, what am I in, right? Is this more of like a lustful, toxic passion? Like, I care about this person. I even might have feelings for this person, but all in all, this ain't really like a healthy, soft love. This ain't really what I aim for, but it feels familiar and it feels good, right? Especially for those who have went through traumatic stuff early on in life, or like dealt with people at a young age and like early dating, and we've been through a lot. It's very important to step back and, like, I'm not gonna say compare and contrast the past versus current, but definitely you need to be able to identify, like, hey, is this the type of love I need for me, or is this a toxic passion that's going on right here, right? I think that'll save a lot of people a lot of wasted time, energy, efforts, heartbreaks, all of that, right? So I just wanted to take a quick minute to kind of break that down. And, it's an uncomfortable conversation sometimes, but definitely see where you ranking at in that. And even if you are at a toxic passion, you don't got to stay in that. And you deserve more, whether you be man or woman. Please know that, okay? Talking to you. All right. Let's go to the next one. We got a little series. So now let's get to the good part, right? So I think especially in relationships, right? Especially if like you've kind of come from a chaotic background or you've dealt with chaotic relationships and things like that. I think it's important to also be able to identify when things are good. Okay. When you getting out that red and you going into the green, I think that's important to kind of highlight. So let's go through that, shall we? The number one thing, green flags, we ain't really talking about, is consistency when it's inconvenient, right? And I know you probably like, how does that look? So like, for instance, let's say you're going through something already. And let's say like your person went through something yesterday, so they still stressed out. They still decide to show up for you in your stress moment, even though they was already stressed, right? And it's not to say like, oh, they're putting themselves on the back burner or things like that, but it shows the love and consistency as far as like, even though like this is going on, I still want to be here for you. That's a green flag. It's a green flag, okay? Another thing that is like inconvenient, but it's still considered as consistency, is being able to have like stabilized emotions while in conflict. Stabilize emotions while in conflict. Number one, that's such a turn on. But also another thing is it lets you know that they have a little bit of logic, but they're not letting anything, the logic or the emotion, lead them. They're kind of just being able to be neutral to kind of figure out whatever the situation is in the conflict, right? That's important. A lot of times people fly off the handles. Them disagreements go to arguments that turn into big old fights. You need to be able to have somebody there that's like, okay, they can still stay calm, right? Because in return, it'll make you, I done been there, it'll make you calm, and you'll get a better result. So that's another green flag, right? I want to say, I think emotional accountability is a green flag, but I'm going to break it down a little bit more. So, especially with the arguing thing, when it comes to like somebody being consistent and having a green flag and emotional accountability, I think that looks like, I was wrong and I apologize, and I'm sorry that this is how it came about, and I'm going to apologize, and they have changed behavior. That's a green flag. Because a lot of times we've all dealt with it. Somebody say sorry over and over again, but nothing's really changing. Or at the very least, it might change for a little bit, and then it's right back to where it was at. So those type of things matter for sure. And so, cause honestly, I feel like apologies without any type of change, that's manipulation, and that's like a trait of a narc. Like you just go around saying what you're gonna do, what you won't do no more, and oh, I promise and I apologize, but then you right back on it a week out. It's not a green flag. Um, Another part of a green flag I would say is being able to feel the peace. That's a big thing. So like there's not that gut wrench when you say certain things or you express yourself. There's not your chest getting tight when you waiting on a response for them. There's not any type of feeling that'll make you feel like negative in a sense of how they're going to react to what you're saying or how you feel or anything like that. That's another thing of a green flag. If you could truly feel at peace, it's because you feel safe. And I think that's what most people want. Most people just want to feel safe in what they're doing, who they're experiencing, what they're experiencing, and they don't want to feel alone because you have a partner. I shouldn't have to feel alone, right? So I think being able to just be at ease with yourself, I think that speaks to a green flag with your partner as well. And it's something that like you shouldn't overlook because it's easy. It's real easy to be like, oh, well, this should be happening. This should be happening. But yeah, it should. But also recognize that this is good for me and it's good for them and we're being good together and we got these green flags, you know? So it's easy to spot out the red ones. Sometimes they look yellow, you know, whatever. But the green flags are important. So please make sure, especially y'all, my people out here dating, spot the green flags. Okay? Okay. All right. So we're going to go to the next one. Now, this one is something I want to talk about because I feel like I don't know if everybody doing it, right? So I want to talk about what self-love actually is. And so I feel like self-love, number one, is you being able to be honest with yourself, right? And that means everything across the board. I'm not even talking about relationships and like I'm specifically talking about just you. I think being able to be honest and transparent with yourself, it speaks to how real you keep it with you, right? Because I think a lot of times, like, it's easy to kind of like look in the mirror. I mean, not look in the mirror. It's easy to kind of like cover something up, not look in the mirror, and be able to be, oh, I'm fine, I'm good. I'm doing this, I'm good. Nah, you need to kind of sit with self and uncover the things that you're not liking or that you don't deem to be appropriate for you or whatever the case is, right? I think a hard truth is a lot of times people don't want to sit with themselves and that like that's a part of the self-love. So self-love is non-existent to some people because it is a hard truth and it is lonely at times and you really can't have everybody in your space while you discovering you, you know? Self-love is also about realizing that you need more peace and promises than you need people or potential of people or you know anything. I feel like when it comes to self-love though, it's really like you're not people pleasing, you're not over explaining, you're not trying to make sense of everybody's emotions because you know that yours matter. I think another part of it is leaving. For those like people who are in certain situations or they're dealing with something, I think another part of it is leaving when it hurt. Leaving when you know you should. Leaving and disassociating when you know that that's not feeding your soul in your future. I think that's another form of self-care. I ain't talking bubble baths, manicures, nights out to, you know, trips to Greece. I'm not talking about that. I'm specifically talking about feeding in here. You know what I'm saying? Because we go to sleep with every night. If we don't go to sleep with nobody else, we for sure go to sleep with ourselves. And you got to be able to go to sleep and wake up every day and feel like I'm enough. I'm a great person. I'm on a good path. I know what to do. I am going to get everything that I said I'm going to get and be driven about it, you know? So I don't even want to too much tap into relationships when it comes to the self-love. But I do want to say that I feel like that's something that I think more people need to tap into as well because it's a lot of people that are in relationships that don't have an ounce of self-love. So then how you think that's playing out in a relationship, you know? It shows up a lot. People who do not love themselves and do not give themselves self-love, I ain't talking about a haircut. I ain't talking about you got your car detailed. I ain't talking about you went to yoga. I ain't saying you went to Barnes and Nobles. I'm literally talking about sitting with yourself, being a little uncomfortable to get to where you need to be, right here. That's what matter. So, and understand, it ain't supposed to look glamorous. It ain't supposed to have a certain look. You just supposed to do it. Cause especially for the people who like, I want to say this, like you've been in and out of relationships or like you've been single for a little minute, you gotta really sit with yourself. And sitting with yourself don't mean binge watching TV, eating snacks, occupying the time. Occupy the time with you. And you gonna get some revelations that are not so good, but you're gonna get some ones that are. And that's what matter, you know? So tap into self. If you are one of my people who you spending Valentine's Day alone with your friends, whatever, but at the end of the night you going home alone, sit with yourself. Don't think about, oh, I didn't have a Valentine. I can't hit nothing. I can't do this. Sit with yourself. Think about the future plans. Your day is coming, okay? Okay. Moving on. This is what I want to say about I think sometimes too, when it comes to especially Valentine's Day holiday, we see so many things like commercials and social media and posts and all of that, right? And I think sometimes we confuse like real intimacy and like performative romance, right? So let me touch on that real quick. I wrote this down, y'all, because I really needed y'all to hear me. So, for instance, performative romance is more like you posting for validation. Oh, I've been with my girl 14 years and I love her and we've been through this and we don't even need to know all that, okay? Another thing of performative is like the woman who would rather just buy you a gift than really hear how you feel and how your day went. The man who will buy you anything in this world, but he won't be emotionally present. It's performative romance. That's bullshit. Because you won't be here and sit with me in this and like just experience each other. You would rather buy a Chanel bag. You would rather spend all of your fucking funds at Eddie V's, take pictures, get a black truck, have roses dropping out when I run, than really hear me and have a real conversation about our emotions and our future and things like that. Performative, okay? Especially like them grand ass gestures and then like putting them all on social media. Cause I'm one of them people, I don't think everything is for socials. I think some shit is more sacred when it's just, you know, you and that person. So to me, that's a super red flag. And that's, y'all know how I feel about the internet shit. Okay. So now let's get to this part. I feel like the real intimacy, right? Real intimacy is knowing the love language, number one. I feel like a lot of people don't know each other's love languages. Y'all just all like physical touch. Big nasty hunchers. Y'all just like physical touch. No. Some people need the words of affirmation. Some people acts of service is what they like. Some people it is physical touch, right? Some people do the gifting. Like it's so many different acts of love languages that could be acted on and done right if you really take the time. So I think that's real intimacy. Like when you're learning the love languages, when you're accountable, when you don't mind having the hard conversations, right? Because I think the real lovers that's into the intimacy and not the performative romance, I think they realize that everything can't be sensual and sexual. Everything isn't all like stars and rainbows. Some stuff has to start with the conversation. Some stuff we got to get real in depth about because we can't be sensual and sexual and so nice and grand and all of these things until we get to that part. Intimacy definitely is, you know, the sensual and sexual, whatever. But a lot of it is core, and you have to use your mouth and your mind and your heart to get to that. So for the boys, for the girlies, like, please know the difference. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, that lady, she might appreciate that big old cherry, Coach cherry bag you got her, and she might love it. But damn, what if she just want to sit down over Longhorn steak and talk? Like, you just dropped $450 and she just want a little $80 meal and she willing to really talk. and really talk. And you said no. Like, you know what I'm saying? Really tap in. Know your person, fool. Like, I cannot stress this enough. Know who you are with. Learn them back and forth like you have to study for an exam. That shit is so important. And it's very, very evident when that's not what you're doing. Especially if the other person is. Get y'all shit together. Okay? All right. All right. So, another thing I want to touch on before we close out, right? Because I think this is normal. Being single on Valentine's Day. Please stop pretending, without pretending that you're unbothered, right? I feel like, okay, let me say this. For the people who are bothered, I will say this. You might have been through something. You might have been very traumatic. Fill your Valentine's Day with things that you love. Don't fill your Valentine's Day trying to occupy the time to make it go by faster. Don't go send yourself roses. Don't do none of that. Occupy your time with you, with what you like. So if that means family and you want to spend time with family on Valentine's Day and they're available, do that. If you want to be around the boys, you know, you and Shorty broke up a couple weeks ago, whatever the case is, and you want to be around them, do that. Don't occupy your time trying to get hunched on. Don't occupy your time trying to drink the bottom of the bottle. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, really, really enjoy your time. Now, if you get to the bottom of the bottle with your friends, that's different. But really, like, feed yourself on Valentine's Day if you're single this year. Like, don't keep letting it bother you like, oh, I don't have anybody and da-da-da-da. And I'm not even talking specifically to women. Men feel like that too, y'all. They just won't tell y'all. But I be knowing. So that's number one. And then also, stop feeling like that's the end all. Do you know how, like, it's so much time that could go by and you never know who you'll meet and then you sit over there sulking on Valentine's Day. It is okay. I don't think you should have to mute socials. You should have to stay off social media or anything like that. I think you should just enjoy it. Like, enjoy the day as if it was any other day. Now, if you want to be extra special because it's Valentine's Day, then that's great. And if not, that's fine too. But be careful, like, with that. Because I hate the people. I'm not even going to say I hate y'all. I hate the people who just have this. I hate the thoughts that people have where they're just, oh, I hate Valentine's Day, and you just this big old sappy Eeyore. Like, come on, you know what I'm saying? Enjoy the day like any other day. Make it special however you see fit. But if you bothered, be upset, be mad. Identify that. Deal with them emotions. But right after that, baby, get in them streets and go have fun. Go play bingo. Go to a pottery wheel class with your friends. Go do something. Even if that means sitting up there with your grandma and y'all watching in the heat of the night. Have fun. Do something. But don't sit there and sulk, y'all. Like, and don't gaslight your own feelings either. Like, don't try to gaslight yourself into thinking that that's not how you feel. Yes, you do. And that's fine. You normal. You human. Like, especially for my girls or my boys that are, like, going through breakups around this time. Some of y'all needed to leave them. Some of y'all, they needed to leave you. Whatever the case is, right? However it go, like, be okay with that. Life will go on, baby. The next day is February 15th, Sunday. And guess what everybody doing? Chilling, like, or at church. Like, just let that be, man. Like, seriously. I'm tired of y'all doing that. And then, like, y'all be comparing people to people and, oh, if I would have got this and if I would have got that, like, you're not wrong for feeling like, oh, I wish I had somebody. Because, like, especially for, like, my independent people who, like, they don't really have time or whatever and they haven't met nobody, they haven't came across nobody. You're not, just because you independent don't mean that you don't have desires. Like, you're not wrong for wanting to be, you know, with somebody. It just didn't happen this year. That's fine. That's not a bad thing. And the more you sit with yourself, you're going to see that that's okay. Okay? All right. Thank y'all. Because y'all low-key be stressing me out. Love yourselves. It's still going to be a good day. So to close this out, I just had the last few things I want to say about the lover boys and lover girls out there in the world. This is what I need y'all to remember, right? Because I think sometimes we get a little biased when it comes to the men versus the women. We ain't doing that. We unity, okay? 2026, men and women coming together. We ain't breaking up no more. We ain't dividing. We together, okay? Know this before we end, right? Lover boys want appreciation and not expectations, right? Lover girls want effort without having to beg or put out first. Okay. Men want to feel respected. Women want to be considered, and both parties want to feel seen. You see how simple that was, how I said that? It's now, do it sound, easier said than done? Of course. But keep those things in mind. Like, I think the more that we realize, like, what the simpler terms of what people are actually trying to achieve when they out here dating, the better off we'll be. Everybody ain't out here being a snake, Like, I done been done wrong plenty of times, But not every person is a snake. Not every person is out to get you. Have fun, relax, enjoy yourself. Don't jump into stuff too quick. If you a lover girl, protect your heart. If you a lover boy, protect your heart. But no, love ain't just from the opposite sex as a companionship. It's those around you too. So Valentine's Day is important for everybody. It ain't just for the man or the woman. It's for family, friends, the kiddos, the dogs, everybody, okay? So, y'all, I hope y'all have a great Valentine's Day. Especially my single girlies, my single boys. I'm going to be outside if y'all see me, buy me a shot. But I love y'all. I hope y'all have a great Valentine's Day from the Pretty Candid Podcast. Cheers. Love y'all. I will see y'all next week. Don't forget to drop a like. Drop in the comments what you think. Hit that subscribe button. And I will see y'all soon, okay?
Oh, it's a good look, baby. Pull me, tell me over and over and over again.
Focus on me.